Hi friends, welcome to math. I'm so excited because recently we have been counting to 10. We've been using both our hands to count instead of just one. So no longer are we just using one hand, we're using two. Oh my goodness, how'd that get here? Well, I gotta put that away, huh? That's funny. So we do use both our hands and our real hands, not our pretend hands, to count to 10. So let's practice and warm up our brains by counting to 10 using our fingers. Show me 0 by holding both your hands up in a fist and not showing me any of your fingers. So this is 0. No fingers are up. Together, let's count to 10. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay! We did it. We counted to 10. So we've counted to 10 with our fingers, but we also want to count to 10 using a number line. So it's just like when we used our fingers, but now they're represented like numbers. So can you follow along with me? And let's count to 10 using this number line. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome! We counted to 10 two different ways. Wonderful! So, yesterday we talked a little bit about how it can get confusing to count when things are all jumbled up. Do you remember talking about that? Yeah, we talked about that, and we also talked about grouping things into 5 to help us count a little easier. So today, I want to see how you would count something when it's all jumbled up. So let me show you what I've got going on my board. Here is my board, and I've got a bunch of pumpkins on here, but they're all jumbled up. They're not in a line, because when they're in a line, I usually start from left to right or from top to bottom, but when they're all jumbled up like this, I don't even know where to start. Where would you start? Yeah? What maybe is a strategy you could do to know you've already counted that? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we could move it, like once I counted, I could move it. So let's try that. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pumpkins? Wow, remember the last number I say is how many I have. So I have 8 pumpkins here. What if I didn't want to count like that? What if this was on a piece of paper and I couldn't move the things? Like I couldn't move the pumpkins because they were drawn on a piece of paper. What's maybe a different strategy I could do to count these? Oh, I could make like a dot underneath them, and then if that saw that dot, I'd know, oh, I've already counted this. What if I not only wrote a dot, what if I wrote the actual number underneath it? Could I do that? Yeah, if there's room, I could. If there's no room, a dot would be fine, but maybe I have a lot of room on my paper. I could go ahead and write the numbers. So this time I'm going to start here. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I still got 8, right? Even though I counted in a different order. That's because I made sure I knew I already counted that by making some sort of mark, or in this case, I actually put the number while I was counting it. And that helped me know. Awesome. Well, you know, sometimes on our pieces of paper, or sometimes we look at things in like in like frames. So we might be shown numbers on like a tens frame. We saw that on Monday, a tens frame, and how in a tens frame there are boxes for 10 things, right? There's boxes for 10 things. So I drew a tens frame on here to help me count. This is another strategy to use to help you count. So here's my tens frame. And a tens frame just means that there are squares here that are empty and I could put something in them. And if my whole thing is full, if this whole tens frame is full, it can hold 10 things. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It can hold 10 things. On the top it can hold 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the bottom it can hold 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say I want to count these pumpkins using my tens frame. I want to fill up the top row first. That will tell me if I have 5. So I'm going to pick them up and put them in my tens frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is 5 on my tens frame. What do you notice about my tens frame when I have 5? What do you notice? This top part. Is there any more room on the top for me to put another pumpkin? No, so I filled up that whole top row. Wow, and that told me there's 5. So I can just go 5. Remember how we talked about grouping things in 5s to help us count faster? So I could look at this tens frame and see, wow, the top of this tens frame is full. There must be 5 pumpkins. How many pumpkins do I have left that aren't down here in my tens frame? How many pumpkins are left? How many? Wow, you're right, 3. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 pumpkins that I haven't put in my tens frame. So I have 2 options. I can go back and count each pumpkin one by one, or I can say this is 5 and I can count on. Either way. Let's start with the group of 5 since they're all there. Let's try that strategy first. So I have 5 because they're all full, and now I'm going to keep counting. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pumpkins. Wow! Now I'm going to go back and count each one by one just to make sure I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do! I have 8 pumpkins here. We counted correctly. Awesome! Wow! Now what do you notice about my tens frame? Yeah, there's 8 pumpkins there. Do you see any blanks? Do you see any blanks in my tens frame? Oh, there's a couple. 1, 2. I have 2 empty spaces. So that means I would have to have 2 more pumpkins for this tens frame to be full. 2 more pumpkins would give me 10 pumpkins. Wow! So if my tens frame has all of the spaces filled, I know there's 10. But if it's not, I know there's less than that. We are doing such a good job. We learned that we can count by ones, we can move objects, or we can group them. Like when we grouped them by 5 and said 5, 6, 7, 8. We can put them on a tens frame, and then when we look at it, we can tell 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's easier to see. Awesome! Kiss your brain. Whoa! I love how much you're learning. We are just zooming on by learning our numbers, aren't we? So, for this next part, you're going to need a dry erase marker and your yellow dry erase board. I'm going to put this in another video so you have time to grab your dry erase marker and your board, okay? So once you've got these 2 things, I'll meet you in the next video. See you in a second.